Imagine filling a bucket with water, but then every year someone quietly drills another hole in the bottom. It probably creates a mindset like I just have to work harder and get more water. But the real problem isn't how much water you're putting in, but the fact that the bucket keeps leaking. So many movies and TV shows are making hypnosis seem dangerous. And I actually think that's part of the whole Fiat culture. Like, don't let people connect to their own inner self and realize the power that they have in their own sovereignty, in their own mind. The future of healthcare on a Bitcoin standard, the way I see it is that
Welcome to the Bitcoin ICU podcast. This is your host, Nurse Ralph. Today, I got Heather Keys, who has been a hypnotherapist and a holistic health specialist for the past 20 years, who's going to help me give you your dose of orange pill so you don't die from Fiat disease. Heather, welcome to the podcast. How are you doing?
Hi, Ralph. Thanks for having me. I'm
Of
great.
course, of course. I am looking forward to talking to you and to learn about what you do because I've never met anybody doing what you do. And it's like, you know, at first, like it's like I never knew that there was a relationship between like hypnosis and healthcare until I started diving into what you're doing. This is totally new to me. Before we start, tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey before Bitcoin.
Yeah, I guess a lot of people find Bitcoin and then find health sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
but mine was reversed. I found health and healing before I found Bitcoin. And I guess to put a long story short, my journey through healing myself and healing others led me to understanding the difference between symptoms and root cause.
Mm-hmm.
And right,
Yeah.
because as you know, in our Western allopathic medicine, we're often just symptom dealing instead of root cause healing.
Yeah.
And so in hypnotherapy, that's very common to look at what is the root of this problem, either psychologically, spiritually, mentally, or emotionally, or
Mm-hmm.
physically.
Yeah.
And so once you see that already, that paradigm, it's very obvious once you look at the money
Mm-hmm.
and the symptoms and the cause, which I think inevitably led me to Bitcoin.
Interesting. Were you trying to? Did you say were you trying to like fix like things that you had, or is that what led you to hypnotherapy in the first place?
Well, I don't really use the word fix
Okay.
because I don't think we're broken.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Fair enough. Yeah.
I was on my own healing journey.
Mm-hmm.
I had asthma that from a very young age that would hospitalize me, and it would either be on my skin or in my lungs. And so I had to break away from the system in order to create a new system or learn new systems of healing. And it was probably quite a few years. Like in retrospect, it was like 12 years
Mm,
of working on my own healing
yeah,
through different practices
yeah.
that it dawned on me, oh, hypnotherapy.
Mm,
And I knew there was like this psychological element because I did all these things. I did all these physical things,
yeah.
even emotional things. And I would still have triggers or I would still not be able to like completely resolve these issues.
Mhm.
And so I literally just like Googled hypnotherapy course near me and and found one. But then while I was in the course being trained as a hypnotherapist, I remembered that probably 12 years back, I'd had hypnotherapy, and then
No.
that was like a massive start to where I quit all my bad habits, started my
Mhm,
healing journey,
mhm.
move home, resolve stuff with my family,
Yep.
and just, like, completely forgot about that until I was taking the hypnotherapy course.
Wow, 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 that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's so interesting because like you were talking about before, we in healthcare and like our healthcare system really focuses on just like treating symptoms in a way and never really like we never really focus on like the root cause of anything really. Like I mean most people would just be like, "Oh yeah, I'm just going to take my inhaler and just go on with my day." They just like it's just it's just a quick fix, but never really,
Mhm.
yeah, we never really dive into. I mean, I'm just talking for myself and what I see. I mean, I don't know how it is
Oh, no, this
elsewhere.
is the
Yeah,
norm.
yeah.
This is the norm. Like, I just had a consult today with a potential client, and I've
Mhm.
had a few this week, and they all ring the same tune,
Yeah.
which is not only that did the medication not resolve the problem, but it
Mhm.
created more problems
Mhm. Yeah.
that now they have to solve.
Yeah. Oh.
And unfortunately, it's just become normalized, just like the money,
Mhm.
it's just become normalized, but also I think it is part of the Fiat mindset because I think a lot of people know that if they want to continue with their lifestyle, like their unhealthy lifestyle, they want that pill.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
want that pill so that they can continue. They don't want the doctor saying, "You gotta change your diet,
Yeah.
you gotta change
Oh.
your habits."
Yeah.
And the doctor will just say if the doctor says, "Okay, well, since you're not gonna change, I'll give you this pill to make it more tolerable to
Mhm.
live
Mhm.
with this condition that you could actually heal on your own."
Right, right. Very
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Interesting. And the other thing I was gonna say too is what was it? For hypnotherapy, like I just wanna like, can you describe hypnotherapy actually? Like because you know, like we're talking about, like it's like hypnosis. We like what from what I've learned from hypnosis from the media and movies, it's
Mhm.
just for fun and games, right? I don't know anything about like for as far as like hypnosis and healthcare, but like, can you describe hypnotherapy for the people that have no idea what it is and how to
Sure.
even use that in like in a, I guess, health setting?
Yeah, that's a great question. I've been thinking about this too and thinking how I should maybe post more about this because I came to X just with like, I am not coming in as a hypnotherapist. I'm coming
Mm,
in with all of my body as of work. So I
yep.
haven't done that same work that I did growing my practice of like, what is hypnosis or
Hmm.
how does it work
Yeah.
or what are the myths and misconceptions?
Yep. Yep.
And I will say that that is how I grew my practice, which was teaching people about the myths and misconceptions
Hmm.
because there are so many movies and
Yeah.
TV shows in the lexicon
Yeah.
that are making hypnosis seem dangerous
Hmm.
or something of a mind control.
Yep.
And I actually think that's part of the whole Fiat culture. Like, don't let people connect to their own inner self
Mhm.
and realize the power that they have in their own sovereignty,
Yeah.
in their own mind. And so I think that those every year, there's another movie or another thing in a TV show that makes hypnosis seem like for the weak or for somebody who would um be have their mind controlled by someone else.
I see.
And so that's the biggest difference. Like
Mhm.
that's the biggest difference is that, and even with entertainment hypnosis, there's still elements of hypnosis which would be to put someone in a more relaxed, less inhibited space.
Mhm.
And it's just that when they do things, like if somebody does something silly that someone else would never do, then people think, "Oh my god, I would never do that.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna get
Yep.
hypnotized." So people would always come to me and say, like, "I can't get hypnotized. I went on stage."
Mm.
And I always said, "It's very different in a clinical setting."
Right.
Is in a clinical setting, someone is coming to you to resolve a problem that they have probably struggled with for quite some time that they decided to try hypnosis.
Mhm.
It's not something that people come and say, "I wanna try this first." I mean, there's much more awareness around it now because of mind-body connection, and this is becoming just way more known in the world,
Mhm.
but it's this misconception that someone is doing something to you.
Mhm.
So, like, and there is kind of a fiat hypnosis where people do still put people in hypnosis and just say positive suggestions and tell them this is how they're gonna act and this is how they're gonna feel.
Yeah.
And that is like a portion of hypnosis, but the real transformational healing power of it is to create the conditions where your own mind can reorganize and reset itself.
Mhm.
So the healing doesn't come from me or me deciding, here's what you have to hear, here's what you're going to do,
Yeah.
because that just makes me the authority over the self, where the self and the soul and the mind
Yep.
should be the authority.
Mhm.
So it comes from the intelligence that's already with you. And I'm simply helping remove the interference that's preventing the person from seeing that or
Mhm.
from that full expression of their self
Yep.
to come through.
Yeah, I see.
So I do work in hypnotherapy in a way that's kind of different than a lot of people, because I don't believe that I know better than the person's own being.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
And the power is within them, and all I need to do is give them a relaxed space to be able to feel through what they've been going through so they can process it, see it, get insight, release it, and then, of course, use the power of the mind as it is used best, which is to create your reality.
Right. 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 Yep.
So if your reality is someone of an identity of always being sick,
Mhm.
we gotta change that to the reality of someone who is healing and getting better every day and feeling better all the time.
Yeah, yeah, agreed. Wow, wow, that's powerful,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
And you know the other thing too, I've been reading a lot of like well, not a lot, like a few books about mindset and the money mindset and all that. And they always talk about how you create your own reality, how life is literally just like a it's like a whiteboard or like a canvas or something, and then you can choose to paint your own reality. Even if you already drew on it and it was an ugly painting, you can always draw over it and make it turn it into something beautiful. And they always try to like empower the mind. And it feels like some people may say, ah, no, that's some lulu la la thinking, but it's actually true. Like you can actually
Oh,
like
yeah.
people really underestimate the power of the mind. And it's funny because like I told myself like I would probably not go back to school for anything like healthcare related anymore. But like now that I'm like learning more about holistic stuff, I'm just like, yo, like low key, I kind of want to go back and learn more. Like maybe get some like holistic classes. I don't know what I have no experience in any of that, but like I'm actually curious about
Yeah.
all of this. I want to learn more. Like that's that because I don't even take any medications anymore. Like I don't like I would try to
Awesome.
fix myself first any natural way before I touch
Yeah.
anything in the pharmaceutical world. So
Awesome.
yeah, no, it's so
That's like
interesting. Yeah.
a rite of passage, that I've seen a lot because I had a hypnotherapy school for
Hmm.
many years,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
trained hypnotherapists,
Mhm.
and I trained some nurses,
Nice. Nice.
and, they did come to and they were learning all sorts of holistic
Mhm.
modalities
Yeah.
because they came to that same, realization that, "Okay, I probably came into this profession wanting to help people heal."
Yeah.
And then realize, well, maybe I'm a bit limited in my resources in this
Yeah.
position to help people heal.
Yep.
So I can fully understand where in your mind you still have that passion and that desire, and
Mhm.
then you're thinking, "Oh, maybe there's other ways that I could help people in the way that I originally thought I could
Yeah.
with nursing."
Yeah. 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 100% agree. Yeah. 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 And
Yeah.
what do you think are like your I guess your ideal clients? Is it anybody with any like who do you think is ideal for you actually? And that might be a
I
broad question.
mean, that's a good question, and at the risk of sounding just so selective, I'm gonna say, I mean, I'm at a point in my career where I can be selective, so I'm very
Mm,
grateful for that,
yeah.
and I was thinking this thought today because I have been helping out some of my past clients, teenagers, which I don't usually work with anymore, but
Mhm.
I just know I can help them, and they're
Yeah.
my past clients' kids, and
Yeah.
I wanna help.
Yeah.
So I don't discriminate entirely at all,
Yeah.
but I do need someone generally who is, aware of the fact that they may have taken on certain beliefs or identities
Mm,
or even, um, treatments that have led them to needing my help to resolve and solve the problems that they're experiencing because I don't wanna have to wake them up. Like,
Mhm. Right.
I did that for, 10 years, more than like, I did that my whole career,
Mhm.
which is now I don't even know, it's like 15 plus years or
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
you know? And, like, for example, I have a couple new clients starting this week, and, like, uh they both understand that they have the power to heal and that they have gone through what they've gone through and they just need help kind of getting back to themselves and releasing, what they've gone through. So that's my main criteria. It's just like an understanding or an awareness that
Mhm.
this is that this is possible, but even if they don't fully believe that, because that's what I do,
Yeah.
I help them fully believe that as we work together. I do prefer that they at least understand that the power and the possibility is within them,
Mhm.
and I will help them get to it.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is that I do have the pleasure of working with a lot of Bitcoiners now, so this is amazing.
Yeah.
And I kinda noticed, like, even my new normie clients, they have, like, kind of a Bitcoin mindset in a way.
Mhm. Yep.
So that's becoming like, Bitcoin changed my whole career and how I work with people and who I work with.
Mhm.
And also, I'd say the other thing is generally, unless it's something easy for me, like I'm very good at taking away any fear or phobia or panic attack or anything like that with 2 to 3 sessions. I can do that anytime.
Mhm.
Unless it's something like that, I look for someone with a low time preference
Mm. Yeah.
because end of the day, I like to get extraordinary results. I
Mhm.
don't want just like, "Oh, I had a little aha moment," or "I had a little shift." It's like we take the time and work through things as they're coming up
Mhm.
so that it's sustainable and it sustains, and it's not just like a quick fix, like, I could hypnotize you and tell you all these great things and you would feel better and just start exercising and doing these things that I told you you were gonna do.
Yep.
But then it wasn't necessarily created by you in the way that your self is truly desiring to, like, show up and
Mhm.
live and be and eat and move in the world long term. And
Mhm.
then especially if there's, like, which we all have, just a buildup of past unprocessed material
Yeah.
in our mind, and so, especially with that, we want time to go through the process and then let it unfold.
Yeah.
So, that's basically my criteria. I have been taking on a lot of, like, people with physical conditions that haven't been solved just because
Mm.
I know I can if I know I can solve it, I feel like who else is gonna
Mhm.
help them?
Yeah. Yep. 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 Yeah. I've seen.
Yeah.
I've seen a few people, come out of the hospital with problems that a lot of like, doctors would tell them, oh yeah, you will never recover. But I've
Yeah.
seen now that there's at least now 3 or 4 of them. They somehow, I don't know how they did it, but like,
Good.
oh, the thing that I noticed is they know about mindset. And one of them, have you ever read the book The Secret by any chance? Like,
Oh,
by,
yeah, of
yeah,
course, yeah.
like they
Yeah,
knew about
yeah,
something like that, and
yeah.
all of them, they somehow, like, they succeeded. And I'm just like, okay, so there has to be something about mindset. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
that's so good
yeah.
because that's actually my other criteria. Because
Mhm.
like, that I have worked in the past with many people that we had to unhypnotize them from the doctor's things
Mm.
like that.
Yep, yep, yep.
Because it's actually especially vulnerable when an authority figure, like a doctor,
Yeah,
says that to someone. It's almost like a hypnosis. It is like a hypnosis that just, like,
yeah,
plants the suggestion
yep.
in their mind, so we do unhypnotize them from believing that because
Mhm.
that's actually to me, that should be malpractice.
Yes,
That's
agreed.
horrible.
Yeah,
That is horrible.
yeah.
But yeah, so my other criteria is because I also do a lot of fun stuff. Like I have some Bitcoin golfers that I'm working with and like like just performance, wanting to get themselves out there, their content, their
Yeah,
brand. They wanna like or they wanna switch over from like a fiat job to a Bitcoin job and have some limiting beliefs.
yeah,
I do that,
yeah.
but I digress because the other criteria that I think I haven't ever, like, told anyone it has to be there, but I don't have any clients that don't believe in some kind of higher power.
Mm, okay, that's fair. Yeah,
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 because I just I like,
yeah,
how do you trust? How do you
yeah,
listen? How do you get the messages and the signs and,
yeah.
like, the information if you're not connected to some divine
Right.
source energy, God, the
Yep.
universe, or
Yep.
something.
Because it would make
Yeah.
your job a lot harder trying to
Oh my
fix. Yeah, yeah,
god.
that's fair. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's not even I just don't even do it
Yeah,
anymore. I
yeah,
can't even.
yeah.
Yeah,
No, that's fair.
yeah,
That's fair. Wow, that's
yeah.
incredible. And do you, from working with like with Bitcoiners and non-Bitcoiners, do you like notice any like weird patterns? I guess like from the two different groups, or do you see like everybody's kind of like they have their
Hmm.
own separate things? I guess.
That's a great question. Because yeah, I'd say there's similarities because my clients that aren't Bitcoiners that I take are just really on the level in some ways like Bitcoiners.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that the biggest difference is that Bitcoiners have a bigger, like a more clear, louder sense of purpose.
Mm,
Like they are the reason they want to self actualize or self develop or improve isn't just to feel better, it's to be able to live their purpose in
mm.
Bitcoin.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, that's how I am. I'm very purpose driven and I had my purpose shift when I found Bitcoin, like when I really got into Bitcoin and I believe it was meant to be.
Yeah.
And so I think that when it's always there, like a real purpose is always there and it nags at you. And
Yeah.
every day that you're not taking a step towards that is painful.
Oh,
And then I think in Bitcoin, we see so many people self-actualized in their purpose connected to Bitcoin that it like twists the knife in.
yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
just like, oh, you're still not doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah. That's true. That's true.
And
That's true.
so, yeah, so it's more fun. To me, it's more fun, even though it can be painful. The goal isn't just to feel better and be able to like live happy again. The goal is to like really step more with that confidence and trust and just unconsciously, right? Because there's so many things that we can sometimes do to self-sabotage
Hmm.
when we know it's not helping us move in that direction.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I think that the desire and the purpose is different than with, like, a regular person who wants to feel better, but not necessarily to, step into their Bitcoin purpose.
Yeah. I see. I see. Like, there's more of
Yeah.
a. Yeah. Okay. No, I can see that. I can see that.
Yeah.
There's more. There's less of a purpose on the fiat side, I guess, in a way. Or
Yeah, for
yeah. For
humanity.
you. Yeah.
Like, they might like, I'd say a lot of my clients are leaders in general or, like, wanting to step more into a leadership role,
Right.
but not in the same way that I feel like Bitcoiners are convicted to be a leader in building a better humanity
Mm-hmm.
for all
Yeah.
for all
Yeah.
humankind.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And you talked about some misconceptions earlier about how well we really they how Hollywood kind of like shows hypnosis as like this magic trick and trying to trick people and all of this. Are there any other misconceptions that you think people should know about actually?
Yeah, there's a few. I repeated them a lot in my life, so they're easy to spot. So
Okay.
it's like you can't get stuck in hypnosis. Like, if I was hypnotizing you and then
Mhm.
I stopped talking, you would just come out of hypnosis.
Mhm.
It's not like you would reveal secrets.
Mhm.
Like, because even in a lot of the work that I do, because I value privacy and sovereignty, so a lot of the work that I do, I don't even know what they're actually experiencing. I
Mhm.
let them go through it, tell them to nod their head or let me know when they're done,
Yeah.
and then close it off, or do more.
Mhm.
And so also it's a really it can be a really private space. And it's not like I could just say, "Okay, tell me this," and then somebody would just tell me, like, "Tell me your seed phrase," and then somebody would just tell me, like, first of all, they probably don't even know it
Yep.
off memorization.
Yep.
And then on that same note, like, you wouldn't do something against your morals or values, and you wouldn't take a belief. Like, say if somebody was, like, a Christian and they believed in that type of God, I couldn't hypnotize them and tell them, like, "Now you are, now you no longer believe this or you
Right.
believe that,"
Mhm.
because at the heart of hypnosis is the person's subconscious mind, like, is the person's beliefs and values. And so they would never accept a suggestion that goes against their morals or values or true core beliefs.
Mhm.
And I know sometimes people are afraid of that, like, I don't know what's gonna come up, but really when they say that, they're usually afraid that they're gonna have to face a truth that they're ignoring and they already know.
Mm. Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
not new
Yeah.
news, you know?
Yeah.
And then I think the other thing is, that not everyone can be hypnotized.
Mm. Okay.
So a lot of people feel like they can't be
Yeah.
hypnotized. They're not sure if they can be hypnotized. And the thing is, I don't know if you've seen any of my podcasts that I did in the past called Unhypnotize.
Mhm. Yep. Yep.
So that's based on the fact that, like, everyone's already
Yeah.
hypnotized.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody is already
That is true.
hypnotized
Yeah.
in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
It just doesn't matter unless that belief or that pattern or that habit is causing you harm and you wanna change it.
Mhm.
But we could be like, I'm probably hypnotized to just believe everything is always working out for me, and I'm gonna keep that belief till I die for
Yeah.
sure.
Yep.
I'm fine with that hypnosis. I'm fine
Mm.
with being hypnotized
Yep.
to believe, like, we are moving in a positive direction in the world,
That's a
you
good,
know?
yeah, that's a good hypnosis right there. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah.
And then in terms of, like, going into hypnosis, yeah, people that don't have any mindfulness practices or, like, do anything that they ever relax, like, they might have a difficult time relaxing,
Mhm.
but even they can do it. Like, some of the things I worked with the most are anxiety and panic attacks, and
Yeah.
people go into hypnosis, and then we resolve it.
Yeah.
So, it's just because of the misunderstanding that somehow going into hypnosis is like being out of it and just, like, being controlled by someone else and, like, barking like a dog or something.
Right. Right. Yeah.
It's like then they think, "Well, I can't do that," but everybody has the ability to relax and tune into their own internal guidance system.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's fair. That's fair. And
Yeah.
uh, another thing I wanted to mention, I was just as you were talking, I was just trying to think about like all these nurses post COVID with all the trauma and all the experience that they've had, and I'm just like, wow, some of these nurses could really use some like sort of like
Mhm.
mental, like
Mhm.
some of the things, I personally experienced. I can't imagine other people. I've seen so many dead bodies and just
Yeah.
holding people's and like people just dying right next to me and just like
Yeah.
and and when how we cope with it is just like, oh hey guys, it's 7 a.m., let's just go out for drinks in the morning before we go to bed. It's just like we just kind of like it's just lock
Yeah.
it away in a box, and it's like the nurse is just, it's just another day, and I feel like in the long run it's probably not healthy, to just like,
Yeah.
it's just like, oh, it's
That's
just,
a very good point. That's a
yeah.
very good point because I have worked with nurses and people in all sorts of professions at EMTs and stuff, and, that's a real shame that there isn't the support needed for the psychological health of the healthcare practitioners.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, and,
Yeah.
um, on a more positive note, I guess, how did you come across Bitcoin actually? How did you discover Bitcoin?
Uh, I think Bitcoin found me.
Mhm.
But at some point, like somewhere in 2020, like I did just decide I'm going to buy Bitcoin.
Uh-huh.
But I didn't really have a lot of exposure to it, but I just kept coming into my awareness. And then, well, actually, my Haitian friend, he was like a crypto
Yeah.
trader, and so I just went to the ATM, and then actually I met like a Bitcoiner at the
Oh,
ATM because it
wow.
was his ATM,
Yeah, yeah.
and so then like I started learning more about Bitcoin. So, and then I sold it all to like invest in like a crypto project
Oh.
and lost it all.
Oh, man, tough lesson.
Damn, that was some good KYC
Yeah.
Bitcoin too, non-KYC
Yeah, no, okay, what
Bitcoin
yeah,
too.
yeah, oh,
Yeah,
man, never
I
get back.
know, I know, and then I but, I do believe that just like any rite of passage, there's initiation stages
Yeah.
where you are initiated and you go through the trials and tribulations, just like the hero's journey. And then even when you pass through the trials and tribulations, you have more for the journey back home.
Yeah.
And so I really do see that as like my initiation and then learning more about it. And then I moved to Calgary 2022 and went to my first Bitcoin rodeo.
Mhm.
And that just sealed the deal for me because that's when I was like IRL with like a lot of Bitcoiners from all over the place and really understanding the message and the
Mm,
meaning and the need for Bitcoin in our society and in our future
mhm,
society for our
mhm,
children.
mhm.
And so, I was like many women that I know, like once I really learned about it, I didn't need any convincing.
Yeah,
I was just like, "Oh yeah, I
yeah.
mean, this is just exactly my whole vibe." And I truly believe that that Bitcoin is energy, and I believe that the future of healing is energy healing,
Mhm.
frequency healing.
Yeah.
And I really believe that be the frequency of Bitcoin uplifts us, but it also causes like anything that is out of congruency, like anything that is like out of alignment in our bodies will come up and
Mhm.
be exposed
Yeah, yeah.
to us, maybe even to others through us. And so that's kind of also ties into the work I do with Bitcoiners because once Bitcoin is at essence like messing with your shit
Y
inside of you,
yeah, yep.
in your life, and you can't go back to the way you are, and I call it the sacred in between because you're
Mhm.
not really quite you're not where you were, you can't go back there,
Yeah.
but you're not really quite where you're going. So
Yep.
you're in the messy middle, and all this stuff is coming up that's, like, out of alignment, and then we're having to take risks, make decisions, make changes so
Mhm.
our soul doesn't die,
Yep, yep.
and I really believe that from that day that I bought Bitcoin, it just started working its, healing powers on me and just started clearing people out of my life, started
Mhm,
connecting me with more authentic people,
mhm.
started giving me more courage to be more authentic, speak my own voice, just be
Yeah.
myself. And I think so, yeah, I just think it's like that energy has just been vibrating
Mhm.
throughout my life to here.
Yeah, I love that. It really
Mhm.
is like it's like a medication itself. It's like, just like mentally, like it's just like kind of like, oh yeah, wow, yeah, it's wow. There's a lot we can unpack there too. And I like the energy healing part that you said too. It's like how people think that we're just a bag of just meat and blood, and it's like no, we actually like just like a we this is energy right here. Like we're made of like there's a like
Yeah.
I'm doing a lot more research about like the the energy portion of life, I guess.
Mm.
It's deep. It's deep. I need to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's deep.
Well, and you're starting to see that too, right? Like what they're missing in the healing.
Hmm.
Because even I think of hypnotherapy as energy healing in that sense, because again, it's releasing what's no longer aligned
Hmm.
and allowing like a rise in awareness and consciousness and health. And I think also the fiat society has created a lot of low vibrational food,
Hmm. Hmm.
medications, distractions
Yep.
from our
Hmm.
discomfort. And so in this whole comfort driven society, the things that are created, the fiat things that are created are very low vibration. So it kind of makes sense that certain conditions or problems are exaggerated
Yep.
when we think of energy and frequency healing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. True, true, true,
Mhm.
true, true. And what did you grow up thinking about money? Actually, what did you think money was growing up before Bitcoin? I guess.
You know, I love this question because I've never been asked it, and I don't even know if I thought about it before.
Yeah, I know.
Um, because money in my house, like my parents worked very hard. My mom stayed at home till I was 12, and then I have three other siblings. But my parents in general worked and saved. And, you know, that was also an era like when you could
Hmm. Yeah,
work and save and buy a house
yeah.
and things. But there was there was like no conversation
Hmm.
except save.
Yeah.
Save, save, save. And then now since well, my dad passed and my mom getting to know my mom better,
Hmm.
like things that she would go to my dad about, she would come to me about some things. And then I started to realize the biggest money limitation that I took on was like just don't look at it. Like just
Mm.
avoid it as much as you can. Like do what you have to do, but just like don't look at it. And I really took that on. Like I'm still unprogramming that from myself that
Hmm.
somehow it's just something to just deal with and then
Yeah,
ignore.
yeah.
And I find it really interesting too because of, you know, this way that like I have long since you know, believed in the law of attraction and like really created a lot in my life and my career because of the law of attraction.
Hmm.
And so I have been able to really expand way beyond that, even in terms of because I think this is something that even Bitcoiners could suffer from, which is like demonizing money
Yeah, yeah.
and somehow thinking it's bad because we understand like it is filthy in a
Right,
sense, you know,
right.
it's just gross and it's gross the society that it's created.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we don't want to like turn off our receptive mode to abundance.
Hmm.
Like we don't want to it, you know, we don't want to stay in this state of lack. And so I think like a lot of people, um, you know, I'm very thankful to my parents because I did have a very hard work ethic.
Hmm.
And they taught me, you know, basically anything that you want, you can have if you work for it.
Yeah.
And I like that, but I like it better combined with like alignment and understanding how to allow things into your life that can make your life better
Yeah.
without having to blood, sweat, and tears everything that you want.
Yeah.
Like I think that served me up until a point because I think also the world used to be like that.
Hmm.
But now we see people working 2, 3 jobs aren't getting ahead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So that mindset no longer is enough for to have like a truly abundant, healthy life because also the consciousness has changed and we can bring in use our mind to create our reality.
Yeah.
And we don't and that if you believe I have to work to the bone for every just to get not even ahead, just to survive,
Yeah.
well, you're probably gonna have to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Like the
Yeah,
belief will match what you have to do.
yeah.
So I guess like yeah, in thinking on that now, I think I really wasn't involved. I think as a woman, especially born in the 70s, like I was not involved in like any discussions about
Mhm,
how the family was run or
mhm,
the household was run.
mhm.
And I wish I was.
Yeah, yep, 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 yep. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. I feel like a lot of people are like
Yeah.
that. They just kind of like they just see their money. They want to ignore the problem. They don't even want to look at their bank accounts. They just kind of like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
look away. Yeah, no, it's okay. Wait, did you
Yeah.
just say a woman born in the 70s?
Yeah, I did.
I'm so- Hold on. What is your secret? Jesus Christ, how you look so good?
I
What?
mean, 77, so like
Okay.
late 70s. But, I always say that age is a mindset, baby.
Aha! Wow. Okay. Yeah. You're gonna have to
Like if
text.
you have
Yeah. Send me all your
it
skin. I
well,
need to
and
know.
I do have a beauty line that
Okay.
I have
Okay.
created, but
Wow.
I to me, it's still from the inside out,
Yep.
everything I do is from the inside out, even my beauty line is, like, helps heal the
Mm.
cells in the nervous system, but I have done a lot of detoxing,
Wow.
but I truly believe, like, if people get older and they don't deal with that residue
Mm.
in their mind, if they're bitter, angry, hurt, resentful, um even just have this limiting belief of like how they can look or what they can do at certain ages or at certain times
Yep.
in their life, or they're too old to learn technology, or they're too old for this or they're too old for that.
Hmm.
Well, they're probably going to look older than they are because they're being weighed down by all of these limiting beliefs that aren't actually true. They're just true because they believe them,
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Because I'm like looking back. It's like I mean, some of my patients. I mean, it's so different. Like when you're in the healthcare center, I mean, some people will try their best to
Mhm.
look great in their post 50,
Mhm.
but a lot of people are just kind of they don't they don't have that mentality really. They kind of down on themselves. They just and
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, obviously that
I
also
mean,
leads to
it
health
can be
problem.
hard,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
true. It can be hard to get older,
Hmm.
for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh, but I also think that it's awesome. Like, I love being my age
Mm,
better than when I was younger
yeah.
because I know myself better, like,
Yep.
there's just so many awesome things, but I
Yeah.
think you're right. Um, I think what you were finishing saying before I cut you off was like, then it leads to these health problems because they sort of give up
Hmm.
and just think, well,
Yeah.
that's just comes with age instead
Yeah.
of, self sovereignty
Yep.
and self authority. Like, oh, I could do something about
Mhm.
this.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Wow.
Mhm.
That's amazing. Wow.
Mm.
But I was gonna ask you too. If you were talking to a client and they were somehow interested in Bitcoin, and you had a few minutes to explain to them what the problem with fiat is and how Bitcoin could be a solution, what would you tell them?
Hmm. Oh, well, I think if I was talking to just like a person about it, that maybe we weren't talking about, say, the transformational energy power of Bitcoin, but
Yeah.
like the money.
Yep.
I would probably start by getting them to imagine, like filling a bucket with water, but then every year someone quietly drills another hole in the bottom
Yeah.
and like you keep filling it and then it probably creates like a mindset like I just have to work harder and get more water.
Yeah.
But then even as you work harder, there's another hole the next year,
Yeah.
there's another hole the next year. And so the real problem isn't like how much water you're putting in, but the fact that the bucket keeps leaking,
Yeah. I love that. Wow. Yeah.
you know?
That's a good example. Yeah.
Well, like visualization is always really good for people over like logical discussion
Mhm.
because that's like one of the reasons that people like maybe they don't realize it, but then they end up working with me because they're trying to solve a illogical problem
Mhm.
logically.
Mhm. Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so when we bring in visualization, it's like most people can imagine if they keep trying to fill this bucket and more water keeps pouring out, maybe they're not the problem.
Mhm.
which
Yeah.
I also think is a rebellious thing still, even though it's ridiculous that it is, that like, because I do think that inflation and this way that they make people think, well, it's you, like you're the
Mhm.
problem,
Yeah.
is also the biggest problem because then the people believe there's something wrong with them, and then they might not look with a discerning lens at the system,
Yeah.
at what is really happening. And so I think, because I like to think about orange pilling like a hypnotist,
Mhm.
and how you
Yeah.
could like open someone's mind. So visualization is always good just to get them to imagine that. And then, for them to like, once they start to see it, not maybe telling them, "Oh, well, this is who's poking the holes in the bucket."
Yeah. Yep.
That they'll just be
Yeah.
like, "That's crazy." Yeah, they're like, "That's just crazy." Like, we know that you've always been like a conspiracy theorist, but that's crazy,
Yep. Yep.
you know? So
Classic.
it's like resisting the urge to be
Yeah.
like, "Well," and just asking them, like, maybe think about what might be poking holes in that bucket
Mhm.
and how things used to be compared to how they are now, and what might be some of the actual causes of that, not just what you're told or what you might think it is,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
because
I feel like
yeah,
I'm that guy that's usually like, oh yeah, look, this is the guy poking your butt. Yeah, I probably should come down a little bit and
it's
take a
so
different
hard not to be
yeah.
that guy, like it is,
Yeah.
because we just know,
Yep.
right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's just that if the person's mind, like, if you haven't bypassed the critical factors, if you haven't really bypassed, like, if they're not really relaxed to take in what you're saying,
Yeah.
or like you're already breaking their mind a little bit to be like, wait, something I thought would just was isn't.
Yep. Yep.
We got to be gentle.
Yep.
We got to be gentle. And the best way is to like ask them questions.
Yeah. That's.
Like, who do you think might be poking those holes in the bucket? Why are those holes in the bucket happening?
Hmm.
And then they're going to show you right away what they believe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So that's my favorite part. Like that comes into I do a lot of coaching with my clients. I don't just do hypnotherapy.
Hmm.
And that comes in a lot because I can just by asking questions, I can get a real clear sense of someone's limiting beliefs or their belief structure.
Right.
And so once you understand that, like, because then maybe we can see that they are angry about the cost of groceries.
Hmm.
And we could see like there is certain things that aren't really adding up to them and feels unfair, but they're not necessarily wanting to just jump right away to blaming the government or the
Hmm.
state.
Hmm.
Right. So that's where I feel like there's a gentle sort of hand holding.
Yeah.
Okay, like let's walk through what you already think, what you're already experiencing, and then maybe plant a little seed that, well, they did print a lot of money to produce a lot of vaccines
Hmm.
that cost a lot of money during this time. I
Yeah.
don't know. That might be a
Good.
little controversial, but
Hey, I'm not gonna say anything.
you know, depends. You got to know your audience.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true. Yep, yep, yep. No, fair enough. Fair enough. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, yeah. No, that's fair. I'm just trying to think. I guess 20 years from now, 20 years from now, if Bitcoin does say stays decentralized and secure, how do you
Mhm.
see the world? But more specifically, how do you see healthcare actually?
Ooh. I have thought about this, the future of healthcare on a Bitcoin standard,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and the way I see it is that people would have access to the solutions that they need, um, regardless of where the solution lies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because right now there's so much limited access. Like, for example, here in Canada, someone I know went to another province, another city to have a type of frequency, Like, it was still in the medical system in Toronto, I believe, where they had, like, a frequency sort of shot into, like, a
Mm.
cancer cluster
Yep. Yep.
and had really great, results, but then came back to, like, their province, and, like, the healthcare practitioner said, "We won't treat you anymore since you did that treatment."
Wow.
So, has been totally denied their free healthcare,
Yeah.
and I'm sure they can fight it through the law, but this is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Instead of being curious and asking, "What are they doing over
Right.
there
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. Yeah.
working?" And,
Yeah.
like, "Let's watch this person and see how he progresses."
Yeah. Yeah.
They literally just shut the door on any even access. I
Wow.
mean, and, for me, I don't do anything in that system anyway, so I don't care, but the problem but the solution on a Bitcoin standard, that would just be normalized. Like, let's find what works the best,
Mhm.
not which makes the most money for a handful of people in the world,
Yep. Yep.
right? Healthcare on a Bitcoin standard would be truly helping the person be healthy,
Mhm.
not making them sick,
Mhm.
to
Yeah.
make more profits off of them.
Mhm.
And healthcare on a Bitcoin standard would be truly listening to the individual and what they're going through and what they need. And it wouldn't be this like, I've got 5 minutes to listen to your problem. And based on what you said, I'll run these tests. And based on these limited tests, which are, which are designed to find a problem
Mhm.
also,
Crazy.
you know,
Yeah.
also. And here's what you should do, although this isn't the solution, this is just to
Mhm.
help you get through. So I would say healthcare on a Bitcoin standard is solution-based, healthcare. Like, it's really helping the person become healthy with whatever they need,
Mhm.
no matter if anyone profits from it or not.
Mhm. Yep. 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 That is, I love that actually, because that's something that I hope I get to see. Because I remember the first time when I first started diving into the healthcare rabbit hole, and then I started learning about how a healthy patient is basically a lost customer, and that really, I just remember that quote. Oh man, that really stuck with me. It's like, man, like yeah, it's a sick care system for real. It's just like, oh, yeah, it's so sad, man. It's so sad.
Yeah, I have been, like, just in the trenches with this week, because I opened my books for some new consults, and
Mm,
it's just it's honestly overwhelming. Because I obviously just talked to a small handful of people,
mhm,
but the trauma that they've gone through by genuinely just going to try and get help
yeah, yeah,
and ending up worse off,
right, 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 right.
like. And I mean, the older I get, the less fucks I give about what I say
Mhm.
and how I say it and who I say it, and,
Yep,
like,
yep.
I literally just said to someone the other day, like, "Oh," because they were saying, like, "We really don't wanna put our daughter on the antidepressants, da 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 da."
Mhm,
And I was saying something like, well, because I have helped a lot of people come off of those meds, and it's horrible, it's
mhm, yeah.
just disgusting and painful and horrible. And I said at first, I said, "Well, my son's 16," and I said, "I that would be a last resort," and then I was like, "No, that wouldn't even be a last
Mm,
resort." Like,
mhm,
I would never, ever,
right.
ever do it.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Whereas
true.
before I used to be more diplomatic, and now I'm just not.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm still in the diplomatic part
Well,
because I'm
you
like,
have
I'm
to
still,
be.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm kind of careful about what I say sometimes, but
Yeah, you have to be, you have to be. Don't
yeah,
get me wrong,
yeah, I
I
know.
am sometimes too, but
Yeah,
less
I
all
think
the time.
eventually, at some point, I'll get to your level. I'll just be like, you know
Yeah,
what? I don't give a damn. I'm just gonna say,
yeah,
I'm just gonna say what I need to say. But
yeah.
no, I love that. I love that. But I feel like I have one other question, that something that you said. Oh man, I can't remember it now. I should have wrote it down. Ah, damn it. It's gonna come back to me like after the podcast. I'm be like, damn it, I should have asked this one,
Yeah, you'll be
but
like, you can put it
yeah,
in the,
in the comment,
comments.
yeah, no, yeah. But I just want to ask you, outside of Bitcoin, what else do you do for fun?
Ooh. Well, I am kind of a sports girly,
Nice, nice.
so I like to I'm getting and I moved, so I have, like, a lot of opportunities to do way more stuff because I have a complex,
Mhm.
and I really like to play pool, and I've gotten, like, quite good at playing pool.
Nice.
So I do love to play pool. I like to just hit anything, so I'll hit my tennis ball against the wall. I'll go down I found this little mini bat, and I take it to the river and just, like, hit
Oh,
rocks
wow.
in the river.
That's fun, that's fun.
I like to hit things,
Yep,
yeah,
yep.
yeah. And then, I mean, my son and I, like, we've been loving watching the World Cup
Yeah,
you know, him and I, we do all sorts of things, ride our
yep,
bikes
nice.
and, you know yeah, but
That
probably my favorite thing, I like to just suntan and swim.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
That's fun. That's fun.
yeah,
Just spend
yeah.
some time in nature. That's
Yes.
fun. Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
amazing. And one last question for you:
sure.
if you could go back in time and give your younger self advice, other than buying more
Mm.
Bitcoin, what would you tell yourself?
Other than buy oh, you can't say that one, eh?
I know, right?
Um, what would I tell myself? I would tell myself, hmm, I would tell myself that it's okay to be different.
Mm,
Like it's okay to not fit in. It's okay to not really know exactly what you want to do or where you're going. But I think most importantly, I would just tell myself like it's like you're not alone.
mhm.
Like, you're not alone going through this. There are there's God um, there's a lot of support out there for you that you can't see
Yeah,
even when you feel alone.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
That's yeah. That is something that I feel like I had to learn myself to that it's like because it's I feel like every Bitcoiner goes through that journey where it's you feel different because you believe in something that nobody else cares about or believes in, and it's like you
Yeah.
do feel alone sometimes. And yeah, it is okay to be different. It is okay to yeah it's but and you are not alone. I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
It's
uh-huh.
true.
Yeah.
It's true just because my mom sometimes jokes like, "Did you just come here to do everything, like, hard?" Because, like, first I was always, like even, like, with hypnosis
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
Bitcoin, like,
Yeah.
I always just pick things that people can't understand,
Right.
but I think that also sometimes people don't realize, like, when you listen to your heart, when you follow your purpose, and when you just ha like, I can't not my life does not work if
Right.
I do not listen,
Right. Right. Right.
you know? So there's just no choice, like, you just embrace it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I
Embrace
mean,
being different.
yeah, I mean, you if you and that's the thing too. It's like a lot of people nowadays definitely don't do the things that they want to do. Like most people are doing jobs or they are doing things that they're just doing it to pay the bills. They don't really it's never
Yeah,
like something that they truly enjoy doing. So it's nice that you're actually doing something that you're actually passionate
yeah.
about. And I'm jealous because I'm like, oh man, I wanna I wanna do something.
Well, yeah, you gotta listen,
Yeah.
because it's not only just that people are doing things for money that they don't like and survival that they
Mhm.
don't love, is they're doing all sorts of stuff. They're
Mm.
hanging out with
Mm. Yeah.
people.
Yeah, yeah.
They're doing things for people that don't feel good. They're doing things, they're not listening to themselves. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think because I do think sometimes, like, we are meant to go through discomfort and do some things, like, I hit a point like, actually, this is how I feel like Bitcoin sort of messed with my career because I hit a point where, like, I felt like I was doing my job like a job I didn't wanna do,
Mm. Yeah.
and I stepped away.
Yep, 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 yep.
I did,
Yeah.
like, I stepped away
Mm.
and I listened to myself and just said, "Okay," like, I know everyone kept telling me, You're so lucky. This is so amazing."
Yeah.
And I was, like, doing it like I didn't like a job I was, like, not liking, and it was affecting my health.
Mhm.
And I also had to have the courage to step away and reassess and go, "Okay, where am I meant to go now?" Regardless of all these people saying, "Well, why would you stop teaching, like, that's so profitable.
Mhm.
Why would you stop doing this?" And I said, I can't, I don't know what to tell you, like, I just have to."
Yeah. Yeah.
And I had to really reassess, clean up. I cleaned up a lot of my lists, and I had to decide there's some stuff I'm never doing again. And really, it's been amazing coming back to it with, like, a whole renewed sense of purpose. So
Mhm.
even I, who followed my passion, had to
Mhm.
do what everyone has to do to, listen to themselves.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Wow,
Yeah.
wow, wow. No, that's great. Now I appreciate your time. And any last message for my audience at all?
Wow, I just love talking with you. I look
Same
forward to
here.
seeing more of what you did and
Of
seeing more of
course.
what you're doing, and
Thank
I
you.
think it's really important to bring the healthcare Bitcoin conversation
Yeah.
into the light, and so, no, I'm just thrilled to be able to share some things with you.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Where
Yeah.
can people find you if they want to reach out to you?
The best is heatherkeys.com,
Mhm.
and then my ex is unhypnotized BTC.
Nice, nice, nice. I'll put the
Yeah,
links in the description. Thanks again for your
okay.
time. Follow Heather on X and her podcast, of course. I need to follow the more of your podcast actually. But thanks
It's
again for your
gonna be
time.
revived.
Yes.
It's coming back.
Looking forward to
It's
it.
coming back in
Looking
the
forward
next
to it.
couple months,
Nice.
so, yeah, I'm sure you'll see it when it comes back.
Nice, nice, nice.
Yeah,
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
thank you.
Bye.